Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So I've got a really big update for you in this video as announced by Prime Minister Rishi Sunak recently related to the student visas, and they are thinking of putting a limitation to the dependents, right? So what I'll be doing in this video is I'll be giving you a proper background that what all things have came into the news. Then secondly, what are the action steps? Thirdly, what has been the reactions by the general public or by some of the officials in the government itself? And at the last, I'll be coming up with my own thoughts and what I think about all these decisions being given by the UK government, right? Before that, you might be aware that recently I have been able to get a sponsored job. Now it's been around 2 to 3 months that I've been working here in the Newcastle, right? So if you want any of the videos related to my personal job, if you've got any questions, feel free to comment them down so that I can make a follow-up video related to my job. How's it been going in the UK? So with regards to this video, let's focus on the topic. First of all, in terms of the background is that recently there was a figure in terms of the number of migrants who have came to the UK, and that number was 500,000, right? Which is 5 lakh in Indian kind of number system, right? So which is a really big number, right? So 500,000 is like no joke. Like there's some amount of migrants who have came to the UK. Now you might be thinking, is it like 5 lakh students or is it like 5 lakh migrants, right? So there's a two different things, right? So it's not 5 lakh students, it's 5 lakh migrants, because like in this 5 lakh figure, what it includes is, first of all, it includes definitely the international students who have came to the UK, not only from India but also from all other parts of the globe, right? And also there was like a very sharp increase in Nigerian students as compared to last year. I think it was like more than 3,000% increase for the Nigerian students particularly. So it has included the international students, but also it has included the refugees who were affected during the Ukraine-Russia war and they came to the UK. So these figures include those. Then thirdly, it also includes the refugees from Hong Kong. So these are the kind of the three main kind of elements to this figure of 500,000 of the net immigration which has came to the UK, right? Now you might be thinking, oh well, 500,000 is a kind of a usual trend in the UK. What was the trend for the last year? So for the last year, the trend was, it was like 1,73,000 students or 173,000 students, the migrants who came to the UK. But this year it was 500,000. So you can see that it is a really big jump in terms of the migrants who have been coming to the UK. So now you might be thinking, what are the action steps? So what is the news? What are the big updates? What has Rishi Sunak said? Now there are three different points. The very first point is that the Prime Minister has announced to clamp down the number of foreign students to tackle the record high immigration number. Now in terms of the steps, the first step which he's taking is that he has said that students won't be accepted in low-ranking universities or low-quality degrees, right? Now, I mean, I've got loads of questions. Like whenever this government comes up with some kind of policy, they never give us full details into it, and you know, the general public is always left in the questions. And similarly over here, right? Now, first of all, my question is, what do you actually mean by low-quality degrees, right? What does that even actually means, right? So we don't have any clarity at the moment, but I think as the few months passes, a few weeks passes, this policy might be more clear, right? And I think the second question which I've also got is that, I mean, like these all universities, the home office has given them the license to sponsor the international students. So if you think the degrees were of low quality at the very first place, why was the license, the home office license, being given to these kind of universities who are giving low quality degrees? So that's kind of another question which was going on in my mind when I was doing for critical thinking with regards to this action steps. But yeah, so the thing is that in terms of low quality degrees, the students who are going to do it, there's going to be some kind of restriction. The second thing is that, you know, the students who, so basically for the dependents, right? So like undergraduate students cannot bring dependents, but the dependents can be brought in by the master's students or by the PhD students. And there has been a sharp increase in terms of the number of dependents which are being brought by the international students, right? So which includes their wife and the kids, right? Generally, because you can't bring your parents here in the UK. So yes, in terms of summarizing it, right, so there's going to be some kind of effect with regards to the dependents, and also like students were coming for the low quality degrees, which I don't know what this low quality means. There's going to be some issues with respect to that. Now you might be thinking, like, what has been the reactions by the other officials in the government itself, right? So I've got two statements for you. So I need to have a look on my laptop because it's really long statements, right? The first statement is by the chair of government's migration advisory committee, and he has said plans to reduce the number of foreign students could send many universities over the edge, particularly those in poorer regions. Now you might be wondering, what does this statement means? Like, what this statement means actually is that, when you think about a university A here in the UK, now there are like 3 different fees criteria, right? For example, if it was a university in Scotland, they've got these 3 different criteria. The first fee is what the Scottish students pay, right, which is very, very low. During my time, it was just £2,000 a year. And then there's another fee which is paid by the UK students, which is around £10,000. And there's a third fee which is for the international students, which is like massive, which is £20,000. Now you think about that, if the government is going to come with any policy where they're going to restrict the number of students coming to certain universities, what it essentially means is that the fees which will be charged to the UK students might go up. And that's what this kind of official in the government is saying, that if you curb the number of students who are coming to the UK universities, and given that UK is already in the recession and they've got like inflation kind of issues, right, like UK is not already very attractive because of the recession, isn't it? Like, if you put all those kind of restrictions, the fees for the UK students themselves is really going to increase, right? Right now it's I think 10 to 11,000 pounds. So if you're limiting the international students, the fees is going to go even up. So these are some of the reactions. Before I come up with my own thoughts and concluding this video, so I would really like to thank the sponsor of our video. Now, if you're someone like me who has migrated from their own country to the UK for, let's say, educational purposes or for your professional endeavors, you'll be definitely finding NordVPN very, very useful. Now, how's that? If you're from US, you'll be able to watch all those local US-based movies and the web series, right? Whereas if you come to the UK, it's called Amazon Prime UK, right? You no longer have access to all those movies, right? You suddenly lose all that variety, right? And that's where NordVPN comes as a solution. All you can do is just by one single click, you can go to that specific location. Will just change your virtual location just with one single click. Moreover, let's say if it was a developing country, the subscription prices are generally lower for the streaming services, which also means that you also save extra bucks on all the streaming services such as Netflix, Amazon Prime, and etc. Right? So personally for me, I always use NordVPN whenever I'm accessing the internet because of the 2 reasons mentioned previously. But also the third reason is that no one can spy on me. I get extra privacy. And the fourth reason, and the most important one, is the threat protection offered by NordVPN, right? Now the threat protection is to offer you more comprehensive security against cyber threats. So now what that means is that NordVPN will be blocking any of the malicious ads or any harmful website or files you might encounter when you're accessing the internet. So it's a really great feature being offered by NordVPN. So now for my audience specifically, I've got a very, very special offer from NordVPN for all of you who are watching this video, that you can get NordVPN 2-year plan plus 4 months free by clicking on this link, right? This is also mentioned in the description box and also in the comment. I definitely want you to click on that link and get your NordVPN subscription. As I said, the benefit is immense, as I've already explained to you before, right? The secondly, it's like risk-free with 30 days money-back guarantee, specifically from NordVPN. So definitely check out NordVPN. And now back to the video. So my own personal thoughts is, first of all, I think this is really kind of a short-sighted plans which the government has been coming up. I think there has to be planned something in the long term, right? And the long-term plan with regards to the migration has to be something which won't hamper the UK economy in the first place, right? So, like the UK is already going through recession, inflation, the cost of living crisis, like there's a lot of things to kind of deal with at the moment, right? And if in this situation, if you're going to really stop the international students coming to the UK, basically you're going to put even more financial burden on the UK's economy, then the recession might continue even for longer, right? So students who are already in the UK, even their own British students, even the UK population itself, right, their own native population is really going to struggle. So I think the government has to be a little bit more far-sighted and come up with a long-term solution which won't hamper the UK economy. Then second, in terms of the dependence, right, so there's a lot of things, right, we want to curb the dependence and so on. I feel like first of all, the role of dependent, we have to be really clear, is to actually support the student during that time, right? So when the student come for a master's degree, right, there are certain students who generally want that kind of support. And what I don't want the Prime Minister to do is that come up with a very generalized policy which might kind of really hamper those students who generally need the support of the partner or of their kids, like, or whatever, right? So like there has to be some kind of exceptions for the students who are generally coming here to study and they generally need the support of their dependents. So I hope there's nothing done against those people who are some kind of genuine students. So with this, I think this is the whole point of this video, and do check out NordVPN and do take the offer which is being given by them. I'll see you in my next video. Cheers, bye bye.